Okay, today let's study the monohybrid cross. In the monohybrid cross, the parents are TT tall and small t, that means dwarf. Okay, the gametes T and T versus T and T. So while crossing, so T versus T and T versus T, big T and small t. The big T that is dominant and small t is recessive, and the same thing T and T and T and T. This is F1 progeny. Now selfing the F1 progeny, that is TT versus TT. So we'll get TT versus TT, that is T T versus T T. So crossing that T versus big T and the T versus small t. So we'll get T versus big T, TT, and the T versus small t, TT, and the small t versus big T. So dominant will be written first. So TT and the T versus small t. So that is TT. So we can express this progeny by the checkerboard or Punnett square or Punnett square. So how to write this? So T and T, T and T, there are two gametes while crossing. So you write T and T and the T and T. So we'll get three columns. So one is male and one is female. So T versus T, that is TT, T versus small t, that is T small t. So T versus T, the dominant must be written first. So on small t versus small t, that is T. The phenotypic ratio is 3:1, that is 3 tall and 1 dwarf. That is 3 tall is TNT, TNT, and TNT, and the dwarf is TNT. Next, genotypic ratio, that is 1:2, 2:1. So 1 is both are dominant and two gametes are one dominant and one recessive, and one is dwarf, that is two are recessive. This is the genotypic ratio and the phenotypic ratio of the monohybrid cross.